Welcome back, everyone, to Indy 11 and Apex Benefits continuing video series touching on Heart Health Month here in February. Back with us from installment 1 here for chapter 3 is Goalkeeper Jordan Farr. Welcome back, Jordan.
Thank you. Happy to be back.
All right, so today's Heart Health initiative or discussion we'll have is about a topic that people may not relate back to heart stress, but is seemingly everywhere, especially with as stressful as 2020 has been, is indeed stress. There's stress that gets a negative connotation a lot of times, but there's good stresses as well, like the birth of the child, like our good friend Carl Wimet just experienced a few weeks back. And then there's bad stresses, losses of a job, things like equally, both good stress and bad stress can get people to engage in unhealthy behaviors. So that's what we're trying to combat. Negative coping mechanisms like binge eating, being sedentary, or smoking. These can all increase your risk for heart disease. So believe it or not, Jordan, even soccer matches can cause a little bit of heightened stress.
It certainly can.
We turn to you to keep things low stress, but studies have actually been done, like the one in Munich in 2006 during the World Cup in Germany. They found that the number of cardiac emergencies more than doubled on the days where Germany was playing in matches. I don't know if that was the Steinschweiger effect or not, or what that was labeled over there.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, we certainly appreciate lively fans like they have in Germany, like here at the Breaker Battalion, but we do want to keep their stress levels in check. We want to keep your stress levels in check, Jordan. So we have some questions for you to see how you tackle stresses in your daily life, but especially your career. Things like, the specific stress of a game day. Talk about ways you combat or keep your stress levels in check on a game day. Like take us back to the 2019 playoff run. Like talk about how you dealt with very specific stresses during a time where a lot of eyes were on you.
Man, so yeah, that was a brand new experience to me at this level, obviously, to play in playoffs for an organization like Indy 11, who were expected to win and expected to do well. So definitely felt the newest kinds of pressure and extremely stressful, and all along, like having to deal with stuff off the field as well, stuff that oftentimes get overlooked by athletes, the things that kind of occur off the field as well as on the field. And so preparing for games looked a lot like going back to what I knew, like planning meals, planning out the day, kind of making sure I was staying busy and active, and then really utilizing the mental practice, visualization, things like this, where I'm visualizing myself doing well or visualizing what the day is going to look like, and just kind of prepping my mind and also my body for the game or the task at hand. Just going back to the basics really was fruitful for me, especially in those moments back in 2019.
Do you find that having that routine kind of set up on game day helps your preparation, not just deal with the stress, but to kind of get in that focus that you'll need later on in the day or the evening?
Yeah, it's hard because oftentimes when you have a game at 7:00 or something big happening later in the day, you're thinking about it all day. So if you don't have plans, if you don't have certain routines that you just will be doing during that day, it's going to be difficult for your mind to its capacity to kind of wrap itself around what's going on, and you can oftentimes overthink it, which I've done plenty of times in the past as well. But something that's helped me a ton is like just knowing overall that like there's a plan for everything, and I personally believe that there's a plan for all things. And so kind of understanding that I have very little control outside of the things that I can do on a day-to-day basis, things like the weather, things like the opponents, things like the field, those types of things, the uncontrollables. I believe that there's always a plan. And so I kind of just leave it up to that at some point. You can think about it all you want, you can prepare all you want, But yeah, there has to be something foundationally within each one of us that kind of we're able to ground ourselves to. And for me, that's like a plan kind of for everyone's life. And so that's been how I've been dealing with stress as of late.
And there's been a lot of stress to go around. Let's not kid ourselves. 2020 bleeding in 2021 has brought about a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, a lot of factors that again seem a lot out of control in some ways. And so you talked about how you kind of lean on your beliefs and how you deal with stress as a way to cope with those. What are some of the other day-to-day mechanisms? Take away the career part, but the part, some of the day-to-day things, like just simply having someone to talk to about your stresses.
Man, that's the perfect way to put it. I was just going to say my wife's a huge person I lean on. But people who are single as well, like a lot of guys on the team, seeing how they dealt with stress was a little different than me, but at the same time, there's a lot of similarities just as far as like things come up in families, things come up in life. There's just stressful days, and quarantine, you're right, has been a massive uncontrollable factor in everyone's life. For me, it's been a community that I can trust and believe in, and that believe in me and that want the best for me. That's been the biggest thing, like you said, for the day-to-day, just someone to communicate to, someone to bounce ideas off of, feelings off of, and being mindful of like, okay, that's a negative thought. Why is that happening? Where's that coming from? And then if you need further processing, having a trustworthy friend has been ideal. It's been the things that have got me and my wife through, especially this last year.
Thanks for joining us, Jordan. And one thing you can count on for next week, we'll close out February with another Heart Health Month video, courtesy of our friends at Apex Benefits. Go out and check out the first 2 installments from earlier this month as well. Until then, we'll see you next week.
Thank you.